Hi, I have a problem with my SLK. This is a 2011 R172. It takes 6 or 7 goes on the remote to try and get into it on the key fob. Once I'm into it, I can't get out of it. It seems intermittent. Some days it's all fine. 3 days later, it's almost impossible. So I've bitten the bullet and purchased second-hand lock actuator. Some of the tools you'll need, I've got some magnetics here in case anything drops inside the door. T15, 20, 25 screwdrivers, 10mm socket, the prizing bars in plastic for the trim. I did knock up because I found it particularly difficult to remove this plastic here. It's got a little slot in it, and what's handy is if you try and knock up something like this just to prise it out. So first stage is to take the trim off. So the bottom trim piece here has been removed by the little pry bars. Here we go. And behind this, hidden, are 2 screws. One's there, the other's there. There's a 4th screw in behind that little plastic piece. And another one where you take out this airbag plastic, and there's another screw in there. With those 4 screws off, then the inside panel will come away. I should also add that the battery's been disconnected some 12 hours because behind this is the airbag. So the trim panel now has been removed, and I've also taken out airbag electrics disconnected there, just to play safe. Next stage is to remove this panel here, and by putting a screwdriver into the slots and sort of leaving it round, you'll be able to pop out the whole plastic panel. So next stage, that panel's out. The window mechanism here completely stops removing the lock from inside. It's quite a big chunk to come out through this access panel. And the only way is to remove the glass. Yeah. And then to move this right-hand window mechanism over to the left. It's held at the bottom underneath by a 10mm nut that comes right off. The top, I'll show you in a minute, is a little bit more involved because it's hidden inside. So that's the next stage. So to remove the window, to give more room, this needs to come out, the rubber here. It's slotted inside, and it just pulls up. Gives more freedom for the glass. And what's holding the window in is that bolt. Now that bolt goes right through the glass as a whole, so it needs to be removed completely, otherwise you won't get the glass out. And the forward bolt is there. Now that one only needs to be slackened off. And the other thing is, when I first saw this, is that you can't get a socket in there and you can't get a spanner in there. But I found by just levering that up, the window will go up enough room to get a 10mm 3/4 inch socket into there. So that's the next stage. So I've unscrewed the window motor. Very straightforward, easy, just 3 screws. This is the difficult one to get to. Now I've removed the window. You can see in there, if I get a torch, that's the nut holding the top of the black bracket for the window. The bracket is slotted, so only slacken that off. Don't take the nut right off, otherwise you're going to be dropping bits inside the door. Now you can see the nut at the bottom of the mechanism is removed, and the top, this slides out top. So now I've got plenty of room. This can be moved out, or we can gain access to the lock. You remove the 2 screws that hold this sort of white plastic thing that surrounds all the lock mechanism. It's just 2 screws. Where is it? There's the other one. So as you can see, you need a lot of room to get this out. The next stage is to release the actual lock itself, which is those, I think they're T25 Torx. Here I'm going to release the lock barrel, and then the handle moves to the left and sort of twists out. Now I've got the barrel out and the handle, which frees up the black plastic bit that holds it all together on the inside. Two screws here to remove. The one on the right is behind the rubber seal, and then that will release this piece. Now this is free to come out. It is connected with a couple of cables, and also the lock itself, of course, has got some electrics to it. That's the next stage. Next is putting back the lock complete, and you can see it's got a push rod there as well for the emergency unlocking. So the lock now is installed and tested for the emergency key, because there's a tiny little wire between these two pieces here. The next stage is to put this plasticky bit in, being careful with the cables, and of course make sure that the actual lock is plugged in, this cable plugged in for the central locking into the lock. So the next stage is to put the glass back in. This is all bolted up now, top and bottom. That screw in there for the glass. And that one that goes right through the glass. So we're progressing. Okay, electric's back now. And next stage is to connect up this. It works the internal latch. Okay, all the trim is back now. So we'll see what this lock's going to do. Last time I couldn't open it manually like this. So that's working. Let's try central locking. Yep, locked. Unlock. Perfect. Lock. Unlock. Brilliant. Well, wouldn't say it's the easiest of jobs, but it saves a lot of money from main dealer prices. Just the lock on its own was €300, and then you got all their labour. So this was bought for £100 at a second-hand Merc scrapyard. Thanks for watching.